So I'm just trying to work out if I'm live or not, guys. I am live. Okay, thank you. I don't have any power today. So I have no internet, I have no lighting, I don't have anything. So I'm hotspotting from my phone. So I'm hoping the internet is going to hold long enough to get through this live. So thank you for letting me know, Heather, that I'm live, and Susan, that I'm live. Just hopefully it'll hold for me. I'm not sitting in my usual spot because you can't even see my face. It's so dark. I need the light on me. So I've just found another area in my house to talk to you guys today, because I don't have any lighting, I don't have any heating, I don't have any power. If I don't have any power, I don't have any internet. So I'm hotspotting from my phone. So fingers crossed we can get through this. It's sort of quite eerily fitting for what I want to talk about today, because this is not what I was going to talk to you about today, but now that it's public and everybody knows about it, I can. So I'll share that with you. I probably won't look at your comments today because they might upset me, because I know some of you know the information that I'm going to share today and some of you would be none the wiser. So I'll share with you what that is. But just thank you for tuning into this live, because this live is bigger than you and me as people, or what's going in our lives, or any kind of business that we're trying to build. This is about supporting a family that have just had a very, very tragic loss. So this is not about me. There's nothing wrong with me. So I've had a couple of messages already from those people that are not in the know. So I'm fine. I guess I'll just sort of get straight into it. So some of you are already aware because now it's public. But a couple of days ago, I got a message from a mentor of mine asking to speak to me. I thought I was in trouble. But we had a call and he shared some very, very tragic news with me then. It was asked to keep quiet because it wasn't public, and they were still doing a rescue to find one of the bodies. So just, I guess, a little bit of background. Some of you may know that I am a mentor along with 7 other mentors. There's only 8 of us sort of around the world for a company based in the US, which is a mentorship company called Elite Marketing Pro. And so as a mentor, I mentor students of theirs as to how to build a business online. So there's only 7 of us mentors. And one of the other mentors is a lady called Becky Graf. Now, Becky and her husband, Tim, and their 2 girls on the weekend they are based in Utah, and they went on just a little sort of camping trip, if you like. So on Monday, Becky and the girls and her brother-in-law set out to do some hiking in what I would probably call a national park. Crystal, is Crystal on? I think Crystal's on. What do you call them, national parks, or what do you call them over there when people, camp and hike? So Becky and the girls and her brother-in-law set out for a bit of hiking, and Tim went to run some errands, and the weather turned. So there was major rain sort of came out of nowhere. The weather turned really quickly, and it caused, unfortunately, some major flash flooding. And they got caught in that flash flooding, and both the girls passed away. Their girls passed away from that. Absolutely tragic, heartbreaking. Any of you that are parents or have children in your life, you never want your children to go before yourself. Even if you're not parents, I'm sure you can appreciate the enormity of something like this. So they're 2 girls. Kinsley is 7, Ellie is 3, and both of them unfortunately passed away in this flash flooding. So it was very quiet initially because they were still searching for Ellie. They couldn't find her for a day or so, but thankfully they found Ellie, and now the girls can be buried together. I'm sure you can imagine that anybody going through this, their life has just been turned completely upside down. As a mother, you know, as a parent, I don't know how I would, you know, get through something like this. Becky and Tim are based in Utah. That's where it happened. I know, Crystal, it's very close to home for you because you are in Utah. And, you know, it's just a different environment. So when it rains sort of here, the rain just soaks into the ground. When it rains in Utah, you know, it doesn't soak in. It just causes flash flooding. So unfortunately, I mean, we don't need to know the details, but it's just absolutely turned their life upside down. So as a community and as a fellow co-worker with Becky, the fellow mentors like myself, we are doing absolutely everything we can possibly do to cover her workload and whatever she needs to do, because, you know, her life is, it'll just never be the same again. So what we're trying to do as a community is raise some funds for the family. They are going to have very large funeral bills, medical bills. They're not going to be working for quite a while. Like, their life has just turned upside down. And they have gone from being parents to not having their children in their life anymore. Sorry. So the mentorship company have started a GoFundMe page, and we are trying to raise as much funds as we can for the family to support them for how long ever they need to get through life, just coping in life. I'm not sure how I would if it happened to me. So this is larger than you and me. This is larger than, you know, anything we're trying to achieve. This is about supporting a family in need. I have put the link above to the GoFundMe page. $10, $20, $25. If there's anything that you can spare for this family to help them in their desperate sort of time of need, you know, so they don't have to worry about certain things and they can concentrate on themselves and getting through this absolute tragedy, it would be greatly appreciated. I realize that majority of you watching the live wouldn't. I know there's a lot of you here that do know who Tim and Becky are. Maybe not Tim, but definitely Becky, in the mentorship community that we are in. I do realize there are lots of you that don't know the family at all, or the girls, or anything about them, but just think about the bigger picture of, you know, they've just lost their 7-year-old and their 5-year-old, and will never have those precious moments in life of those children growing up, you know, graduating from school, having sporting, you know, celebrations, getting married, having children, being grandparents. Like, life will just never be the same again. So if there's anything that you can do to help, you know, even if it's just $10, if there's a lot of people giving little, it all adds up. I mean, the people that have come forward and the amount of funds that has been raised so far has been incredible, but we can certainly do a lot more sort of for them. So I'm sure you can appreciate, if this was you and your family or somebody close to home, you would want everybody to sort of step up, and even if it is $5 or $10, it's something that might help towards, you know, this terrible tragedy that's gone along. As I mentioned, like, I've known about it for a couple of days, but because they couldn't find Ellie initially and it hadn't hit the media yet, you know, we were asked to just sort of keep it quiet, which we've done, but that's hence the change of topic for today. It is public now. The GoFundMe page is up. It's all over the media now, more so in Utah than anywhere else, obviously. but we are trying to do the best we possibly can. Thankfully, one of the other mentors out of the 8 of us that are around the world lives very close to Becky, and she's with Becky and doing everything that she can support Becky and Tim with, because you know, they're at the camping ground, but they've got to go home, you know, yet to an empty house supposedly. So there's a lot of hard times to come. So she's got a lot of people around her, thankfully, supporting her. But you know, please send your prayers to the family, because they're going to need it. They're absolutely going to need it. It is, you know, thank you for all your comments. I can see them here, guys. Thank you very much for, I don't think there's any other word for it than heartbreaking. But if there is anything, you know, thank you for all your lovely comments. I mean, it's not about you and me. It's about Tim and Becky right about now. So this is, I guess, just a call for help to support a family that's gone through an extreme tragedy that you would never wish on your worst enemy to go through. And if there's anything that you can find to contribute to that GoFundMe page, you know, it would be much appreciated. They're so humbled by the support, particularly, you know, from the mentorship company and everybody that's sort of reaching out to them. It's a bit overwhelming at the moment, but their life just changed forever. It'll never, ever be the same again. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. You know, just still trying to come to terms with it. Have been for a couple of days. Just, it's, you know, when you, when something like this happens to somebody that you know and a friend of yours, you just feel so helpless. There's just nothing you can really say or do to change anything at all. But if there's in any way we can help the family in what they're going to need in the months to come, then that's why we're trying to raise funds through the GoFundMe page. So yeah, if you can find it in your heart and your pocket to contribute anything at all, that would be amazingly appreciated. I know Tim and Becky are just so grateful for any support. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. What else do you say? And just, you just, I don't know. It's just a bit lost for words in how 1 minute you're walking and next minute you're losing, you know, 2 members of your family, your children. Just crazy stuff. So thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your comments. I will go back and look at those. I will be a little bit quiet just while I get through this internet situation. I'm not sure what they're doing in the street. It's nothing to do with our house. They've turned the street off. They're doing some works or something like that. So eventually my computer's going to go flat. My phone's going to go flat until we get the power back on. You know, hopefully I'll get it back on by tonight. But I'll keep going and while I've got the power. But thanks for all your love and hugs and thoughts. And you know, it's not about that. It's not about me. It's not about my tears. It's not about any of us. It's about you know, Tim and Becky at the moment. So anything you can contribute would be absolutely wonderful. Thanks for listening, guys. Truly appreciate you. And I will talk tomorrow on tomorrow's live what I was going to talk about today. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Bye, guys.